When it comes to natural energy, Australia is the lucky country. Our sunny-ish climate means that we have a massive potential for solar energy production, and we have some of the best wind generating sites in the world. So, why are we so dependent on coal? Haven't we been talking about renewables for ages? I thought something would have happened by now. Well, today we are going to be meeting a group who believes that we don't need coal for all our energy needs. They believe it's actually a myth that we need coal, nuclear and gas for our baseload electricity supply. They believe that we can go 100% renewable in about 10 years. Matthew, can you tell me who Beyond Zero Emissions are? Do you really believe that we can transition to 100% renewables in 10 years?
Beyond Zero Emissions is a not-for-profit charitable institution. It's a group of people, all ages, especially young people, who want to create the future they want to live and work in. They actually want to move us from a 19th century fossil fuel-based economy to a 21st century renewable-powered clean tech economy. So we wrote a plan, a blueprint for going 100% renewable. It's called the Zero Carbon Australia Stationary Energy Plan, and it details everything you need to get from where we are today to completely renewable.
Wouldn't an aggressive expansion into renewables mean that our electricity prices are going to skyrocket even further?
Firstly, renewables are always going down in price. So you remember back a few years ago, rooftop solar, which people are familiar with, cost twice as much. It's already halved in price, and it's continuing to do that. So the trends are down, down, down. It's the same for wind power. It's the same for large-scale baseload solar plants, which I can tell you about in a minute. They're all coming down in price. Well, fossil fuels are going up in price. So yeah, we've all seen the price of oil at the petrol pump, and that's the way it's going to go at the light switch if we continue to burn fossil fuels. Whereas renewable energy will lock in prices, it'll hedge us against those fluctuations and secure our future.
So is renewable energy reliable?
Well, what's important for an electricity grid is not just baseload energy, but peaking power, the ability to meet demand when it's required. Now, with the two most common renewables, rooftop solar and wind, they're variable, meaning that on average they give us a good amount of power, and we can estimate that, but at times their production's lower. So we combine that with another form of renewable energy that's dispatchable, that can provide sort of the peaking power or the intermediate power to fill in the gaps. One major source of that's called baseload solar thermal plants. So they're large fields of mirrors, sea of mirror, surrounding a central tower. The tower looks like a smokestack from a coal plant, but there's no smoke coming out the top. All these mirrors focus the sun's rays to the top of the tower, and through the top of the tower pumps molten salt or a large vat of industrial fertiliser. It goes from a cold tank at the base of the tower to a hot tank at the base of the tower all day long, banking that salt in the hot tank, and then any time day or night it needs power, they can run water past the salt, flashes to steam and drives a conventional turbine, the same steam turbine that's in the coal, gas or nuclear plant. So you combine that with our rooftop solar, our variable wind, and we have 100% renewable energy supply. Plants are ready, they're available, and they're working in Spain, they're working in the Middle East and North Africa, and they're about to be working next year, a whole lot of them coming online in the United States of America.
So your plan for a transition to 100% renewables will involve a massive overhaul of infrastructure, and this is all going to come at a cost. Can you really expect me to believe that it's only $8 a week per household?
Might get significant economies of scale and the prices might come down. Internationally, some of the prices have already come down in renewables faster than we'd predicted. An example being rooftop solar. Rooftop solar is so much cheaper than it was when we wrote the plan. So in that case, there'd be a significant deployment of that, and that would affect the figures and make it cheaper. So, there is a sensitivity you've got to provide. You look at any large industrial project, they often blow out to double the price or what have you. But some criticism's been unfair. It's good value for Australian mums and dads.
So what can a person at home watching this program do to help in the transition to our low carbon economy?
Things they can do at home is they can make their house more energy efficient. So, depending on what their resources are, whether they can insulate the house, whether they can double glaze windows, they've already done all their light bulbs and those kind of small things. That they can get together in a community group and try and agitate locally, create noise, create change. Or they can join Beyond Zero Emissions. The other thing they can do in the future, we're hoping there's going to be a superannuation option, something like super renewables, and they'll be able to transfer all their super money into that, and that'll build the infrastructure for their future.
Whether you agree with the costings and timelines stated by Beyond Zero Emissions isn't really the point. What is obvious with this report is that Australia has a massively underutilised wealth of natural resources. Expanding into solar and wind energy could mean that we aren't held at the mercy of volatile electricity prices. Australia is one of the richest countries in the world, and this is a great opportunity for us to take the lead.